Hey y'all, we over here getting our dark feminine tea on. Hey dark goddess tea members, what's good, what's up? Okay, we gonna go ahead and ring that bell for ringing that bell state, because I be trying to remember to ring the bell when I get over here. Okay, y'all already know, of course. You can get personal reading from me at dftarottea@gmail.com. Our readings are $44.44. Also, y'all, and that's just, you know, people want things to be private over here on the membership side. Some of y'all may want to go ahead and do it that way, but you also have the option to go ahead and do that dfttmembersonly@gmail.com. Obviously, y'all know those readings are picked at random and they are read to the channel. Okay, anonymously, obviously. So, y'all, I want to talk about CARESHA. Y'all know CARESHA? Young Miami from the City Girls. Y'all know what? I want to talk about Young Miami, CARESHA, okay, and City Girl energy and the courtesan, okay? If anybody is unfamiliar with what the courtesan is, and I actually have a book on courtesans, I'm going to have to try to remember to link it to this video. I have a book on courtesans. I believe I put it on my other bookshelf, but I'm going to find her for y'all. Courtesans, okay? Back when, I believe like Renaissance Italy type vibe, I don't know. Something like that. Wealthy men would take in courtesans. And this was when you took in a woman, you had money, you took in a woman that had herself together a little bit, and you kept her, right? She's basically a form of sex worker in a sense, but more of an escort. They may take her out to parties, to speak, to be seen as more of a companion, but really she's kept there for the king or the prince or this dignitary or whoever he may be's pleasure. And she's being kept financially for a long period of time. Okay, we know that some of that energy plays out with CARESHA, right? In her relationship with Diddy, if anybody was following that at all. She was obviously his little kept girl. We also know that there was this shit Puffy liked to do called the freak off, okay? Where he had the ladies put on white nail polish and be exploited and violated in sexual situations. We saw it with his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who to me was just another form of a kind of reversed courtesan energy, where he's keeping these women. It looks like they're girlfriends on the outside, but the truth is they are being kept by a very rich man for whatever, okay? In Puffy's case, it turned out to be a very exploitative, voyeuristic, prostitute-based lifestyle. That, you know, CARESHA got a career. CARESHA got all types of different perks, if you can call those perks, you know, selling your booty meat for a contract. You know, that's her business. But we know that in Puffy's case, the women in his life are generally physically, sexually abused and exploited. From Misa Hilton Brim, his first baby mama, to Kim Porter, another one of his baby mamas, to Cassie, previous girlfriend, to Jennifer Lopez, previous girlfriend, to CARESHA, and we'll never know all the names, right? They say Mary J. Blige has been exploited at parties, various. I mean, it's a shit show over there. So, when being a courtesan goes wrong, I just kind of want to look at some of the energy around CARESHA at this time. If anyone knows, she has had to kind of publicly fall back from Puffy. At this point, Puffy is a leper. Puffy actually has a scarlet letter on him. However, this has completely killed CARESHA's bankability. You don't really see her anymore. She was constantly visible. Puffy had gotten her multiple projects, even got her a little podcast show. That podcast show, CARESHA Please, I believe it has been canceled when Puffy was asked to step down from Revolt TV, where he used to be the chairman. So we want to just kind of look into right now what energies are present in her life at this particular time. Obviously being a bit of a courtesan to basically what I would say is some type of industry secret society member. What has come of that for her? We don't really see her anymore. We don't know if she is on Puffy's payroll anymore. They are extracting money from Puffy so fast, I wonder he might not even have a payroll to put on at this point, okay? So we just want to kind of look into this and see where it takes us, because I have no idea. This just came to me on the fly. I just literally was completing a read, and I'm like, you know what? We need to look into CARESHA. We also need to look into courtesan energy, okay? What is that giving? Okay, it's a lot to look into. I don't knock courtesans when it's a favorable opportunity. I don't knock it at all. Okay, if you can be kept by a rich man who wants to be seen with a woman of a particular caliber and background, and he's going to be beneficial to you, I don't see what and you're consenting, I don't see what the problem is. Okay, in CARESHA's case, first thing we see around this is a 5 of Pentacles. Energy, very significant energy to come out first in this particular reading, and for any courtesan, right? Because what occurs in a courtesan's life when you get kicked out of that particular wealthy man's, I don't know if what you want to call it, but when you're no longer under his umbrella, right? What becomes of that? You're no longer under his umbrella. This is what has happened to CARESHA. She has really been kicked out of that umbrella. She is now out here on her own. 5 of Pentacles, we see somebody that has been removed. First of all, let's talk about energy. 5 of Pentacles. In her case, we see with the 5 of Pentacles, spiritually speaking, that there were some spiritual principles present, almost ritualistic sexual energies present in her relationship with Diddy, or her business, her transactional relationship with Diddy, that were not even been reported in the news. What I'm getting from this is that there was a lot of demonic energy exchange, okay, because of the way that these rituals and things were getting done. The 5 of Pentacles takes CARESHA outside of any type of sacred energy. There, we know there's a such thing as a sacred prostitute, okay? There was a time in ancient history where a woman could use her body, to bring man closer to God in a priestess-like standard circumstance, okay? This is back in the days of, when Ishtar was being worshipped in ancient civilizations and things like that. In this particular situation, there's no goddess worship energy present. This woman was being demeaned, and she was doing it in the name of demonic energy. There's nothing goddess, godly, oh, I'm consenting, I'm still in my divine energy. There's none of that here. There's no dark feminine power, no dark divine power. There's none of that. Okay, we see the 9 of Wands. This woman was in something that was detrimental to her own soul. Okay, 9 of Wands energy. She was involved in something that was detrimental to her own soul. Being a courtesan, strictly for the way it looked to people on the outside. She thought on the outside, looking like she was Diddy's main piece, was giving her ascension, leverage in the business world. CARESHA believed that ultimately she would be free of this relationship with Puffy. She was Puffy, for people that don't know, Puffy, Diddy, same person, okay? Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Diddy, P. Diddy. She thought that she would be ultimately free of Puff, okay? And she would be free to go her own way eventually. She was not going to be free to go her own way eventually, because this was not a traditional courtesan type of role where you're just being kept by a wealthy gentleman and maybe there's been an arrangement, okay? And everybody is keeping their consensuality. This was not that. Yes, I did make those words up. This was not that. This was a situation where she was not bound to a relationship with Puff. She was bound to a relationship with demonic energies. I get the feeling that CARESHA didn't take this as seriously as she should have. That's why right now she's absent. She went down in the bind that she's in with Diddy. Now her career has taken a hit. We see JT out here, City Girl JT. We see other City Girl, okay? There's CARESHA, there's Young Miami, and JT. We see JT out here getting her own money, okay? Doing her own music, kind of going her own way for the moment. But one of the reasons this is so necessary is obviously we can't both not make money, because CARESHA is bound energetically via public appearance, via satanic rituals in the background, via sex, via ritualistic sexual energies, to somebody that is clearly now being broken down by those same demons that he's worshipped for however many years, right? So we see Puffy swallowing his own sword right in front of CARESHA. He is self-destructing. She is watching the pale horse, okay? She is watching demons suffocate him right to her face. This is one of the things that a courtesan would have to be careful of, is the possibility that your benefactor, is that what we call it, could potentially choke on their own sword. Their sword being made of their own thoughts. Okay, being made of their own thought frequencies and their own thought energies. Puffy's, listen, demonic energy, thought frequencies, they can very well be the same thing, especially for a guy like this. His thoughts, his years of demonic thinking, his years of being bound to demonic energies has now created something that he himself is choking on. Puffy no longer has control over where this thing goes for him, okay? He is now just on the pale horse, being rolled off to hell. He cannot get off. Those demons have taken him over, okay? They have taken him over. He offered his soul, his heart, his image over to those demons so long ago. He did it when he was in a very, let me tell you something. Puffy is addicted, I'm looking at this card here, to, we keep seeing it, the energy of Sodom came up in another reading a minute ago, to sodomizing and so on and so forth. He's addicted to that. And that is what made him sell his soul. He can't let go of that lifestyle. Okay? And he's not a proud gay male who is living in a traditional relationship with, this isn't that. This is for the sake of, he's using it to, he's weaponizing homosexuality against workers, against so-called friends, against business associates. He has become someone that, in order for you to get certain places in your career, you're going to have to come through him, and you're going to have to be in a Sodom-like circumstance, okay? So he gave, and I say that because we see the Queen of Cups here selling her soul. We did not see a male energy selling its soul. We saw a female energy show up instead, okay? This is who he is inside. This is a female energy, a female death energy, because again, he's weaponizing his sexuality to hurt and abuse people. Okay, that's never okay. It wasn't okay when Harvey Weinstein had people on the casting couch. It wasn't okay when Robert Kelly is out here playing with people's daughters. And I say this to say, all of these men are coming from the same demonic stance. They are weaponizing their sexuality in a way that is going to leave others hurt. Okay. Now, CARESHA, on the other hand, she believed that she was coming in courtesan energy. She was going to be kept, and she was going to be in sexual circumstances and situations. Totally her business. However, we're looking at some of the ways courtesan shit can go wrong. All right. It could go wrong. Queen of Wands. Okay. She was looking at the gifts. I got the gifts. Also, he illuminated her. He introduced her to many of the people in whatever secret society he is in. And he illuminated her. That is obvious. All of a sudden, she had projects and shows, and she became a household name. Her first name was being used instead of her rap name, which is Young Miami. All of a sudden, we're hearing about CARESHA and so on and so forth. He was taking her to Met Galas, okay? He put her into a position where she was being illuminated, which could also happen for courtesans. They could be illuminated. You're with a powerful man. You get to go into powerful places, powerful spaces, speaking to powerful people. Okay. However, we have to keep in mind there was a whole demon attached to this circumstance in the background. This was not a traditional courtesan, dark feminine energy. I'm using my sex to empower myself consensually, to elevate my social standing consensually, to social climb consensually, to move up in the glitterati if you're into that, consensually. Okay, to make myself a bit of a, socialite. Okay, this was not that. This was something where this man is bound to a demon and he hurts others, and she became a weapon in that. And for that reason, we can't call this dark feminine energy. This was something that a demon used and abused these two people. I won't say abused because Puffy chose it. Okay. I don't really know the intricate details of what CARESHA was experiencing, but we do know what everybody else experienced with him. Okay. So she too became a part of this. Okay. Eight of Wands, and y'all know we just build. This is a build, okay? We're doing a tarot build. We just building on knowledge, on what's going on out there in the world. We're looking at pop culture, spirituality, tarot. Like, this is just a build, okay? We're going to do more of these, okay? Just building on letting Spirit tell us a bit about what we need to be looking at out there in the Dark Feminine Collective, and how we need to maneuver and move. Also, how to sharpen your game. This is what you don't want to do. Okay, if somebody out there is considering somewhat of a courtesan arrangement, please make sure you understand that this man is not about to take you into straight up satanic sacrifice or a satanic soul tie, because that's exactly where Puff took CARESHA. That's exactly where he took her. Whether she knew it or not, baby, that's where he took her. Okay, we see the Eight of Wands here also with the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. This Eight of Wands and Eight of Pentacles tells us he did a lot of this letting her talk. You know, he illuminated her. He had her talking to the right people, but he talked to her. He got in her head, okay? He put her on a focus. He told her he had future plans. He also told her that the two of them together were going to be together, being a power couple. He was setting CARESHA up to be like a Jay-Z, Beyonce. He was going to move her away from JT. You have to understand, he was moving her up in this satanic secret situation that he's in. She was going to be elevated as she participated in more rituals, more demonic behavior. She was going to start climbing, and we were going to start seeing her kind of be the Beyonce to his Jay-Z. That's what he was hoping for. You know, you're going to be the Jada to my Will. We're going to start to appear more and more like major players. This was anywhere from a 2 to 8 year plan. Okay, this is something for courtesans to think about. If you're in that energy, that was smart. What does this man have planned down the line? I'm not just here for, I'm not coming in flat out sex worker energy. We're not coming for the night or the year. What is your plan for this down the line? How do I benefit, not just financially, any situation? You can go into a relationship and still have a courtesan's mindset, all right? You can still come into it understanding that you plan to benefit. What is the plan? Don't tell me, you know what I'm saying, I'm just trying to see how it go. Nah, see, I need to hang up on you now. Where do you plan to go with this? Okay, because let's talk about social climbing. Relationships can very well be a source of social climbing. Okay, what is it? You know, using that circumstance to change your standing. Even if not, I mean, obviously your finances, but even if not that, at least change your standing. Okay, how is this going to affect my standing? What are your plans? Okay, Diddy did have a plan for CARESHA. We can say that. Okay, there was a plan. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. There was a plan to bring in money, abundance, Page of Swords, and Puffy was actively warding off any potential threats that he thought, right? He thought he was real. He thought he had it. He thought he had the SWOT analysis situation straight. My man thought he knew what strengths he had in this. He knew what strengths CARESHA was bringing to it. He knew what weaknesses they both possess. Okay, he thought he knew what the opportunities were. He was creating business opportunities for them, and he thought he knew all the threats. However, these demonic pacts that he was in, at least 3 of them expired. Okay, he's made pacts, maybe even blood oaths. They expired. Now he is coming under the guillotine. He is now being eaten up. You know, you heard the tune, right? These people get out here, they get to have a great time. You're having a ball, etc., etc. You will have to pay these energies back, though, for all the fun, all the sex, all the liquor, you know, all the Ciroc, all of the kabasi, all of the douce. You will have to pay them back for that in the end, okay? He thought he knew everything. He did not. There are a lot of forces, Seven of Swords, that were strategically placed in Puffy's way to kind of encapsulate him to when this day came. And it's been going on for about 4 years. They've been kind of stacking the deck against him in a way where just when he thought it was all good, they broke him down to absolutely nothing, okay? You want to consider a man standing, okay? If you're going to operate in a relationship or in an actual courtesan energy, in a courtesan type of vibe, consider his social standing. Consider his position. Where is Buddy at this time, okay? We see the Magician coming through the building. Magician energy really puts us in the space of Puffy thought that he was going to be able to, Seven of Swords with the Magician, kind of sneak out of some of this shit, okay? Make the right actions. We see that he's not going to be able to. So at this time, CARESHA has been completely removed from any righteous space. She's participated in various demonic rituals or sex rituals to pledge her allegiance to whatever secret society, whatever Puffy is involved in, lining herself up to really be kind of in a power couple circumstance down the line, believing that she's made really smart decisions in this very kind of demonic / courtesan energy, because the courtesan does not have to be all this demonic fuckery, but that's where she was at with it. And it has expired because her benefactor is now, his name is trash, his sexual rituals with him now, she's given all that energy out there to the atmosphere in the name of moving up and being sponsored by her benefactor. Now the benefactor has lost his positioning, the benefactor has lost his social standing, he's lost chairs that he had at different stations and venues. So if something like this were to happen to a courtesan, what happens? What's next? She need to find a new. She need to find somebody else. We see the Emperor came out immediately. You need to find you a new one, sis. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. She needs to save her money. And remember, we're looking at the game. We actually, this really ain't so much about CARESHA and Puffy. We examining the game. This dark feminine, we examining the game. How do you move in this? So her benefactor situation went up in smoke. Okay, well, you know. What do you do next? You want to start looking for someone new. You want to save your money, whatever money you had. You probably also wanted to be stashing money because you don't never know when shit is going to get real, okay, in a situation like this. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords energy. Keep your thoughts to yourself. Don't really tell nobody what your plans are, because now this is all about escape. You got to figure out how to get out of this bind. In her case, it may be very difficult because there's also a demonic bind, contract. May not be as easy for her to get out of this, but again, we just getting the game out, okay? 2 of Pentacles. Okay, 2 of Pentacles energy. With this 2 of Pentacles energy, she's really gonna have to try to find somebody that's comfortable with her reflection at this point, because she took a very public L. So if everybody kind of know that shit went south, you're gonna have to find somebody that's comfortable with the fact that things went south and whatever you were doing. 10 of Swords energy. She's going to have to really kind of let go of the idea of whatever she had going on with her previous benefactor. She may want to try to marry someone, actually, the Hierophant. Find someone who will marry her this time, so that when Puff went down the way that he went down, where she went wrong is that she's not contractually obligated to receive any of his assets. Okay? Puff went out. Nobody has said anything about sending her Nan check. That's something that she's going to have to catch tea on. How are you going to survive now? If Puff goes down, you know, that money will probably go to, he's got sons. Well, were you written into that? Okay, so that's where she went wrong. She did not move towards marriage. She moved towards more being just in a kind of demonic courtesan space. And I got connections. I made connections. You needed to be contractually bound to this man in the monetary sense. Okay, where's the gain at? Okay, you over here. Same thing with Cassie. You know, she should not have had to expose Puffy, work with the feds and sue him in order to get the money that she should have got for all that abuse and demonic filth that she endured in the first damn place. People are giving out, these girls call themselves being working girls in a sense, and they're giving out way too much shit to not have a contract in place that's going to ensure that they get the coinage when the coinage is time to coin. Okay, there is way too much. You know, Cassie was over there, she was doing all of this, and then when things were over, they were just over. I mean, you didn't get any money. You had to go as far as to expose all of the demonic energies in the background and work alongside government agencies just to get what you were, any kind of compensation. That's an L. That's a mistake. Okay, you want to go in with your business situation straight up front. I actually had started to at one point write about dating, okay, and courtesan courtesan energy, okay, from the perspective of someone that does have an MBA. I mean, because there is a business sense that someone needs to take into these types of relationships and situations. I mean, what the hell? You know what I mean? Think about that. You take all this damage, right? Any investment, somebody runs down your property and you don't get no judgment, you don't get no settlement, you don't get nothing. Somebody ran down your property, you can't rent it again, you can't sell it again. How are you supposed to compensate? This situation with Puffy, her reputation, her social standing, her physical body took a hit. How do you plan to move forward from that? You're not the fresh-faced young girl that you was when he got you talking about just me and you. I've been waiting. That's over. How do you plan to ensure your future? You got out here, you got all this mileage put on you. Now Cassie is a victim, so don't think I'm not saying that about her. We know Cassie in particular is a victim. But for the courtesan energy in general, if somebody decides to go into that space, CARESHA, I do believe, made an adult decision to go into that space. Girl, now he goes down and you ain't even married to him. So what did you do? You attached yourself to that freak, that abuser. And for what? I mean, you know, it was a run. You had a run with him. So next time around, she needs to be thinking about marriage. Marrying somebody, okay? Quick. At least if it goes for bad, you know you're going to be good, okay? 3 of Swords energy. Okay, always be on the lookout for someone to stab you in the back in these kinds of situations. Just keep your guards up and don't talk much to people about your personal business, because you know you always have women that are just will be jealous that somebody is able to get that type of circumstance just based on either their charm or their charisma or their beauty or their way of kind of, you know, getting a certain reaction that they themselves may not know how to secure. Okay. Justice. You want to make sure you're doing that so that you can secure justice for yourself in these situations. 5 of Wands energy. Again, we see this secretive energy. The lights are on in a secret space at a secret time. Not really telling nobody what you're on and what you're all about. Okay. Page of Cups energy we see here. Keep yourself beautiful. We literally see these serums. Okay. This all the stuff now we can see with CARESHA. This is what needs to happen for a courtesan who has lost their benefactor. Keep yourself up. Get back out there. Make sure you make someone commit to you. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This is how you win. Okay. She didn't have this firm commitment with this man, girl. You was just on a stipend or something like that. You was on an allowance. Allowances are cute. But when you're dealing with someone who has the money that Puffy has, the prestige that Puffy has, and as much to lose as Puffy has to lose, you need something more like a contract. We see that he was not married to Kim Porter. He was not married to any of not Misa Hilton Brim, not the fabulous Misa Hilton Brim. Shout out to her for just being one of the foremothers, if not the foremother of hip hop fashion. Okay. The whole ghetto, fabulous concept comes from the mind of Miss Misa Hilton Brim, who originally was dressed in Mary J. Blige and Lil' Kim. That's just a little fact. But at the end of the day, Miss Misa Hilton Brim, okay, this is somebody that did not, she talks about some of the horrors she dealt with being the mother of one of Puffy's children, you know, and not really getting what she wanted out of it. I mean, some of these women were, according to reports, they were being kicked, they were being beaten, they were being, I mean, all of this abuse, and he's a sick and disgusting bastard. And no one had a contract on him of marriage that would have said, I'm going to take it. Like in a situation like this, you abuse me like this, baby, I'm walking away with everything. Now, the goal is to not be with an abuser, okay? Period. Obviously. And Puffy's a sick son of a blibbity blapping bitch. But at the end of the day, we just talking about the game here. And that's the game. Get something for your trouble all the time, okay? That's how you win. Ace of Pentacles energy. If you enjoyed this Dark Goddess tea, this tarot build, you know what I'm saying? We just did a little build, a little Dark Goddess tarot tea build. You understand me? Just a little build, just looking into a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, go ahead, tell a friend, spread the membership around, okay? We not stingy over here. We like to fellowship with everyone, okay? And as always, I will catch y'all in the next one.